If you need to add a new supplier to the ERP, you need to go to the main menu, the Procurement tab, and then Suppliers under Supplier Information. If you're confident that the supplier doesn't already exist within the ERP, then you need to click New to add the details. Previous to this, the supplier will have needed to have completed the new supplier creation form, and that is where you are getting the information from. So you need to add the supplier's name, and then tab across to the supplier group. You can check the drop down by pressing the space bar or clicking on the arrow. Most suppliers come under general suppliers. If you need to double check which supplier group it is, please speak to the payments team. The country and the language will be pre-populated but can be changed if necessary. The head office will change to will populate to the supplier name, but it might be that the supplier works within a bigger company and you may need to change this. So you can use the value lookup to look up the details you need. The company registration number and the VAT registration number can be added here if applicable. If the company is registered with Companies House and registered for VAT, please do add these numbers in here. They are unique identifiers and they can make it a lot easier to find the supplier when searching. Also, if the company registration number or the VAT registration number are on the new supplier creation form, when this goes through to the payments team to approve, if they do not match, then it will be sent back to you to add them. The external reference box is pre-populated with NA. This field isn't used for any new customers, so that can be left as it is. The customer ID also can be left blank. The notes section isn't generally used, but it is a text box, so you can add text in there if you need to. Then you need to go to the Contact Information tab, and then you need to add a general address type. Now, this needs to be where the order would go to. So add the street address in here, add the postcode, town, and the county. As many telephone numbers as you've got, please add them in here, but please add one at least. The global location number field is not used, and please add an email address. If there isn't an email address showing in here, when an order is populated and triggered to go to the supplier, it won't go anywhere because it doesn't have an email address to send it to. So please make sure you do add an email address. And if there is another email address to be CC'd in or a URL, they can be added there. Please add a contact person, their name and their position. Now, if you just leave this as a general address, the order and the remittance will be emailed to this email address. If you need the remittance to go to a different email address, you'll need to add another address line. So you click Add, and then the address type would then be payment. And then you would add same details, but with the different email address, or if it's obviously a different address, it would be a different address in there. And then that means the order will go to the general one and the remittance will go to the payment one. But we don't need that here, so let's just delete that line. The invoice tab is for procurement and the payments team, so you don't need to add anything here. In the payment tab, this is where we add bank details. So you need to add an account number, account name, and a sort code. And please make sure that there isn't any hyphens in any of these. Obviously, if it's applicable to have these other fields, please do add them, but generally it is just the account number, account name, and the sort code. Then we need to complete the Relations tab. The supplier group relation is pre-populated from what you've already selected as the supplier group. The relations that need inputting will depend on the supplier and what they have confirmed on the new supplier creation form, but some of the relations are mandatory and must be completed. Firstly, publish spend. Click on the line and click on the relation value field. You can either press the spacebar to bring up a list of all the options or start typing ahead. The options here are C, commercially redacted. This is for commercially sensitive data, data that would or would be likely to prejudice the commercial interest of any legal person by impacting their ability to participate competitively in a commercial activity. P, personally redacted. Personal information, for example, payments to individuals for adoption and fostering, care-related payments, refunds and compensation payments, but does not include payments to sole traders. Or N, not redacted. If neither C nor P apply, choose this option. If you're unsure at all here about what to put, please contact Nicola Higgins. The next mandatory relation is supplier visible to council staff. Click on the line and in the relation value field. If you work directly for the council, you'll have to enter a Y in this field for yes. Otherwise, you'll be unable to see the supplier once it's been created. If you work for a school or for Star Housing, you'll need to enter an N in this field. Then the SIC code. If no information has been provided on the new supplier creation form for supplier standard industry classification, you can enter NA here. The last mandatory relation here is IR35 check required. You must select yes or no using the information the team leader or manager has provided on the new supplier creation form internal use only page. Then the final tab is the charity number. Yes, as this is a new supplier, then you just add the charity number here before you click save. And then once you click save, you just need to OK the supplier group. It will then have saved, you'll have a supplier ID, and this will have gone for approval. The next step is that you will receive a task that says supplier documentation required. So if you click on this task, then it will tell you that you need to attach supplier documentation. So this will be a copy of the new supplier creation form completed by the supplier. To attach this, you can do that here within the task by clicking on the paperclip. You can then add a document, document type, supplier form, and then it needs to be saved within your device already. So select the right folder, click here to attach it, click save. This has then been uploaded. You can close this section and then click task complete. This will then workflow to be checked and approved by the payments team.